And I think the more we accomplish these kind of things that we kind of deemed unreachable, we get this sense of independence, this sense of accomplishment. Like, for real, I can do what I want. Greetings, creative beings. I am Tiffany Webb Stoney, and welcome to Web Wellness, where we discuss health and wealth because life is so much more fun when you have both of those things. One of them, it kind of sucks. Not saying you need money to be happy, but don't we want to find out what life is like with money as opposed to just saying money doesn't create happiness? It's just like a little whack at this point. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about two things that really contribute. Just got to check my notes. To your health and your wealth. I'm still on Operation Save Money Lose 20, grabbing up some momentum. So these things have to be really embedded in my everyday thinking, because if we don't make habits, it just does not happen. Let me say it again. If we don't make habits, it does not happen. Okay. So with that being said, habits, new habits. The first habit, when we go to the grocery store, we get things we want to eat, but sometimes we forget to turn that package around and read the ingredient list. And when you forget to do that, you have no idea what you are eating. It doesn't matter that you ate the ramen noodles your entire childhood. It doesn't matter that you always get Tropicana orange juice for Sunday breakfast. What matters is it a good habit that you keep indulging in? So now when you go to the store, you're going to look at the ingredient list and see what the heck does it actually say. I'm not talking about what it says on the front of the package when it says 100% pure. Pure doesn't mean anything. Natural, it doesn't mean anything. They're just nice words that make people think they're getting something healthy when they're really not, because the first ingredient was sugar or wheat or gluten or whatever. So look at the ingredient list. I'm not telling you when it says something bad not to pick it up, but at least you picked it up knowing what it was. Even me at this juncture, I've been eating a certain way for more than 10 years now. If I forget to read the ingredients and I get home and it says dairy or milk casein or high fructose corn syrup, God forbid, that's just a whole nother level. If you have something that has high fructose corn syrup in it, you just need to throw it away. Okay, take one last gulp, take one last bite, indulge. Okay, eat the whole thing, but make a vow that you're not gonna buy anything with that in it again. That's just like being a crackhead. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's gonna judge you for eating a, Dunkin' Donuts or drinking Coke and ginger ale or smoking a cigarette, because it's normal behavior. It's habits for everybody. But they will judge you if they see you smoking a crack pipe on the bus. Think of these things like a crack pipe. No one's going to look at you that way, but you have to look at yourself that way. I'm not saying a home guilt, but I am saying to start to think on a new level. And that does not begin without reading the ingredient list, because you don't even know what you're doing if you don't. That's a big one. And it's going to be something you have to keep reminding yourself to do. And you're going to pick up something and really want it and have to put it back because it has high fructose corn syrup. Or, if it says sugar, it's also not something you want to pick up. There's so many other options where it can say dates, or it can say agave, or it can say whatever. It's just different things it can have. At least let it say organic cane sugar. I don't even know if that really means anything, but at least they didn't have just sugar, because that means it's really just crack. So yeah, read your ingredient list. That's number one. Number two, wealth. This is more so focused on wealth, but it also has to do with your habit before the purchase. So if you have a credit card, well, let me start here. If you don't have a credit card, Download Credit Karma. It's easy, it's free. They have options where you can look at credit card offers that are right for you. They'll tell you if you have very good approval odds, or just good, or excellent, or poor, or fair, or whatever. You can kind of have a better chance. They give you things to help you make better decisions. And I know I needed that when I started my credit journey, which I'm still on. But if you don't have Credit Karma, download it. See what they're telling you about credit cards. Try to get one. You probably can start off with the unsecured credit card, one that is regular, not one you got to put your own money on. I did. Capital One is good for that. I think Discover is good for that. But download Credit Karma. Go down the rabbit hole, because once again, if you don't create a habit of, at some point throughout the day, going on your Credit Karma or just looking at your credit score, your bank accounts, like, these should be habits you form, and you get excited when something good happens, or you might go when something bad happens, whatever, but you have to get into the habit of looking at it. So you get the credit card, you went through all those steps, now you have a credit card, or you already have a credit card. The way you can build your credit up is by treating your credit card like your debit card. And be careful. What I mean is, if you want to go to the market and purchase $100 of groceries, you have that money to do so. But instead of using your debit card or your cash, use your credit card and then turn around and just pay your credit card immediately. So your credit card is being used all the time, but you're not accruing a balance. So you're not getting any interest charges. And maybe you want to get a little fancy with this. Be careful here if you're not in a habit of checking these things, because you can easily forget and mess yourself up. So if you want to get a little fancy, let's say your credit card statement is due on the 6th of the month every month. One thing you can do is say, okay, even though it's due on the 6th, I'm going to pay this bill on the 25th of every month, because there are certain dates that you have to pay it, but then there is another date that your actual report gets recorded and sent out. So as long as you pay the bill before it's due, you're good. So maybe you buy your groceries for $100 and you don't pay it that day. Maybe you get paid in 4 days and it's only the 15th. Then you would take that money and make sure you really put it to the side where you cannot touch it. No bill can grab it by mistake, nothing. And you pay it on a certain date. But every single charge you made on that credit card is accounted for. You have the cash to pay it. So you're using your credit card as your debit card, meaning you're only spending on it what cash you already have, or you will have by the time you want to pay your bill. So this way, your credit card is being used, you're building credit, showing these companies that you have a good financial IQ, but you're not paying any interest and you're not risking using too much of your credit card. Because another tip is, if you use more than 30% of your credit card utilization, that lowers your score. So you want to always, if you absolutely can't pay it down to 0 or whatever, you just want to keep it under 30%. Under 15% is more safe, because what if something happens? You want to have some cushion. But that's why you want to have that, in the words of Dave Ramsey, $1,000 emergency fund. So when crap does happen, you have something else where you don't have to take it from your actual bill and expense money or personal pocket money. So going into wealth, start to build that credit. And, I'm not a fan of our systems we have. We're not going to go there. But sometimes you got to play the game. And, this is what it means to play the game. Credit is like, cash is still king, but credit is queen. Like, you know what I'm saying? You need the credit. If you don't have unlimited cash, then you need that credit. And I think the more we accomplish these kind of things that we kind of deemed unreachable, we get this sense of independence, this sense of accomplishment. Like, for real, I can do what I want. Not in the petty or childish way, but in the divine way. Like, whatever desires I have for myself, I can achieve them. I am achieving them now. You can say that and you can do it, and it is a process, but when you walk the way appears. So when you start, the answers will come, the clarity will come, and now you know what you're eating, you know what you're spending, health, wealth. See you next time. Subscribe. Thanks. Like.